Welcome back. This is chapter 5th, TANSEN. And now I'm going to explain passage number first to you, so here we go. You may have heard the name of TANSEN, the greatest musician our country has produced. So this chapter is about TANSEN, his life, his work. So as you all have heard the name of TANSEN, who was the greatest musician this country has ever produced, one of the greatest musicians of this country, a singer called Mukundan Mishra, and his wife lived in Behat near Gwalior. So here there lived a singer called Mukundan Mishra. The name of the singer was Mukundan Mishra, and his wife, that is, he lived with his wife, and they lived together. They lived in Behat near Gwalior. That is, this couple, Mukundan Mishra and his wife, lived near Gwalior, that is, in the Behat area. TANSEN was their only child, and this great singer was their only child. They had only one child, and that was TANSEN. It is said that he was a naughty child, and what is said about him that he was very naughty during his childhood days. Often he ran away to play in the forest and soon learned to imitate perfectly the calls of birds and animals. As he was very mischievous, very naughty, so often he would run away to play in the forest. He'd run away, he would go into the forest and would play there for hours, and there he learned to imitate, he learned to copy the sounds of birds and animals. A famous singer named Swami Haridas was once traveling through the forest with his disciples, and once another famous singer, Swami Haridas, was traveling with his followers, with his disciples, with his students. Tired, the group settled down to rest in a shady grove. As they were tired, they decided to take a rest there under a shady grove, under a shady bunch of trees, a cluster of trees. That is, a small group of trees were there, and they decided to take rest there under those trees. TANSEN saw them, and TANSEN found people resting there. Strangers in the forest, he said to himself. So he was very much amused, very much pleased to find strangers in the forest, because they were from outside. So there were a stranger there, and he found a good opportunity to have mischiefs. That is, to do some naughtiness there. It will be fun to frighten them, and he thought that it would be a nice thing, it would be a fun to frighten them, to scare them. He hid behind a tree and roared like a tiger. So what he did next, he hid behind a tree, that is, he went behind a tree, concealed himself, that is, hid his body behind the tree, and then roared like a tiger. And then he roared, he shouted like a tiger. He made, that is, he made the noise of tiger, the sound of tiger, say. The little group of travelers scattered in fear, but Swami Haridas called them together. The group that was resting there under the trees, they were scared, they were frightened, and they ran here and there. They ran about the place to protect themselves, to save their lives. But Swami Haridas was not at all disturbed, was not at all afraid of it. Rather, he called all of them together. He said, please come here, not to be afraid of the thing. Don't be afraid. He said, tigers are not always dangerous. And he told them, he assured them that all the tigers are not dangerous. Let us look for this one. And he said, let's look for this one. Let's check this one. Let's find out this tiger, where it is. Suddenly, one of his men saw a small boy hiding behind a tree, and suddenly one of the strangers, one of his disciples, found a young boy or a small boy hiding behind a tree. There are no tigers here, master, he said, only this naughty boy. And he informed Swami Haridas that there were no tigers, only this boy was hiding behind this tree and was doing mischief, or was roaring like a tiger, was making the sound of tiger, and this way he informed his master. So this is all for now. Thank you.